First contact at Galactic University. The gleaming spires of Galactic University loomed before Zara Hansen as she stepped off the interstellar transport. Her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. At 19 years old, she was about to become the first human to attend the most prestigious educational institution in the known universe. Zara's journey had begun 6 months ago when Earth made first contact with the Galactic Federation. As a gesture of goodwill, the Federation offered a single scholarship to a human student. Zara, a brilliant young woman with a passion for xenobiology, had been chosen from millions of applicants. As she took her first steps onto alien soil, Zara marveled at the diversity around her. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and colors bustled about the sprawling campus. Some floated on anti-gravity discs, others slithered on multiple appendages, and a few seemed to phase in and out of existence. A holographic guide materialized before her. "Welcome to Galactic University, Zara Hansen of Earth," it chirped in perfect English. "Please follow the designated path to your dormitory." Zara hefted her bag and followed the shimmering trail of light that appeared at her feet. As she walked, she couldn't help but feel the weight of countless alien eyes upon her. Whispers and clicks in unfamiliar languages reached her ears. "Is that a human? So primitive looking. I heard they still use internal combustion engines." Zara squared her shoulders and pressed on. She knew she was representing not just herself, but all of humanity. She couldn't let a few snide comments shake her resolve. The dormitory was a towering structure that seemed to defy the laws of physics, its upper floors twisting into impossible geometries. Zara's room was on the 42nd floor, and as the elevator whisked her upwards, she tried to calm her nerves. The door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a spacious room with two distinct sides. One side was clearly meant for her, with a bed and desk scaled to human proportions. The other side was different. A large gelatinous sphere pulsated gently in the corner, surrounded by various alien objects Zara couldn't begin to identify. "Hello," Zara called out tentatively. A series of melodious tones emanated from the sphere, and suddenly it began to shift and reform. In moments, a vaguely humanoid shape emerged, its body translucent and shimmering with bioluminescent patterns. "Greetings, Earth being," the creature said, its voice resonating directly in Zara's mind. "I am Salthurix, your assigned roommate. Welcome to our shared living space." Zara smiled, extending her hand before realizing the gesture might be meaningless to her new roommate. "It's nice to meet you, Salthurix. I'm Zara." Salthurix's body rippled in what Zara hoped was a positive response. "Your species uses physical contact as a greeting, correct? How fascinating. I have studied some Earth customs in preparation for your arrival." As they began to converse, Zara found herself relaxing. Despite their vastly different biology, she and Salthurix shared a common thirst for knowledge and understanding. They spent hours discussing their respective worlds and cultures. The next morning, Zara awoke to the soft chiming of an alien alarm. It was time for her first day of classes. She dressed quickly in the standard university uniform, a shimmering, adaptive material that adjusted to each species' unique physiology. As she made her way to the central lecture hall, Zara couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. She was about to attend classes that would expand her understanding of the universe in ways she could scarcely imagine. The lecture hall was a vast amphitheater, filled with students of countless species. Zara took a seat near the front, ignoring the curious stares and whispers around her. A holographic display flickered to life, showing a being that appeared to be made entirely of swirling energy. "Welcome, students, to Advanced Quantum Xenobiology." The being's voice reverberated through the hall. "I am Professor Zonthar. Today, we begin our exploration of life forms that exist simultaneously in multiple dimensions." Zara's eyes widened as complex equations and mind-bending diagrams appeared in the air before her. She quickly realized that her extensive preparation on Earth had only scratched the surface of galactic scientific knowledge. As the lecture progressed, Zara found herself struggling to keep up. The concepts being discussed were so far beyond her frame of reference that she felt like a cave person trying to understand rocket science. During a break, she overheard two insectoid students chittering nearby. "Can you believe they let a human in here?" one buzzed. "Their species hasn't even mastered faster-than-light travel." Zara felt a flash of anger, but she pushed it down. She knew she had a lot to prove, not just to herself, but to the entire galaxy. Humanity was new to the cosmic stage, but she was determined to show that they deserved their place among the stars. As the day wore on, Zara faced challenge after challenge. In her advanced telepathic communication class, she was the only student who couldn't naturally transmit thoughts. In interstellar politics and diplomacy, she realized that Earth's geopolitical squabbles were laughably insignificant compared to the complex web of alliances and conflicts spanning the galaxy. By the time her last class ended, Zara was mentally exhausted. She trudged back to her room, feeling overwhelmed and out of her depth. As the door slid open, she found Sulfurix waiting for her. "Zara, I sense your distress," the alien said, its body pulsing with concerned hues. "Was your first day challenging?" Zara sank onto her bed with a sigh. "Challenging doesn't even begin to cover it. I feel so primitive compared to everyone else here. Maybe humans aren't ready for this level of education." Sulfurix's form shimmered thoughtfully. "Perhaps you are looking at this the wrong way, Zara. True, humans may lack the advanced technology and innate abilities of some species, but your kind possesses something rare and valuable: adaptability." Zara looked up, intrigued. "What do you mean?" "In my studies of Earth history, I've seen how quickly your species progresses. You've gone from simple tools to space exploration in a mere blink of cosmic time. That ability to learn, to overcome obstacles, to think in ways other species cannot, that is your strength." As Sulfurix's words sank in, Zara felt a renewed sense of determination. Yes, she was behind her classmates in many ways. But humans had always thrived on overcoming challenges. She would adapt, learn, and show the galaxy what humanity was truly capable of. With newfound resolve, Zara pulled out her study materials. "Sulfurix, would you mind helping me review today's quantum xenobiology lecture? I think I'm going to need a different perspective to really grasp it." As alien and human bent over the holographic textbooks together, the first seeds of an interstellar friendship and humanity's future in the galactic community began to take. The Interspecies Academic Challenge. As weeks passed at Galactic University, Zara found herself settling into a routine. Each day brought new wonders and challenges, pushing the limits of her understanding. While she still struggled with many aspects of her coursework, her determination never wavered. One particularly challenging morning found Zara in her quantum computing lab. The room hummed with the energy of exotic particles, alien students manipulating complex holographic interfaces with practiced ease. Zara stared at her own console, its multidimensional display making her eyes water. "Having trouble, Earth being?" a silky voice purred. Zara turned to see Vexilor, a feline-like alien with iridescent fur. His tone was friendly, but Zara detected a hint of condescension. "Just taking my time," Zara replied, trying to mask her frustration. She knew the solution was within her grasp, but translating her thoughts into the alien interface proved difficult. Vexilor's whiskers twitched in amusement. "Perhaps you prefer a more primitive system. I hear humans still use binary code." Zara bit back a sharp retort. She'd encountered this attitude before, a mixture of curiosity and dismissiveness towards human capabilities. Instead of arguing, she focused on the problem at hand. Closing her eyes, Zara visualized the quantum pathways as her human professors had taught her. In her mind, she could see the solution, elegant in its simplicity. With a deep breath, she reached out and began manipulating the holographic controls. To her surprise and delight, the complex equations began to align. The quantum particles danced to her commands, forming patterns that even Vexilor watched with widening eyes. Impressive, he admitted as Zara completed the experiment. Perhaps there's more to human cognition than we realized. Before Zara could respond, the lab instructor, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline shell, floated to the front of the room. Attention students, the instructor's voice resonated. I have an important announcement regarding your midterm project. A ripple of excitement, and in some cases, appendages, went through the class. Galactic University was known for its challenging and often unconventional assignments. You will be divided into interspecies teams, the instructor continued. Your task is to design and prototype a new form of faster-than-light communication. This project will test not only your scientific knowledge, but your ability to work across biological and cultural divides. Zara felt a mix of anxiety and excitement. This was her chance to prove herself, to show that humans could contribute meaningfully to galactic science. But she also knew that some of her classmates might see her as a liability. As the instructor began assigning teams, Zara held her breath. To her surprise, she found herself grouped with Vexilla, a plant-based intelligence named Floxy, and a gaseous entity called Saphira. Vexilla's tail swished as he approached Zara. Well, Earth being, it seems we'll be working closely together. Try not to slow us down. Zara met his gaze steadily. I intend to pull my weight, Vexilla. You might be surprised at what humans can bring to the table. As the team gathered to discuss their project, Zara quickly realized the magnitude of the challenge before them. Faster-than-light communication already existed. Of course, it was how the galactic community stayed connected across vast distances. But their task was to innovate, to find a method that was faster, more efficient, or capable of penetrating areas of space where current methods failed. Floxy, whose leafy appendages rustled with every movement, suggested a bioengineered approach. We could develop a species of plant that communicates through quantum entanglement across light years. Saphira, whose form shimmered like a heat mirage, had another idea. What if we utilized the natural expansion of the universe itself as a communication medium? As her teammates threw out increasingly esoteric proposals, Zara found herself struggling to keep up. The sheer scale of their thinking, drawing on technologies and scientific principles she'd never even heard of, was overwhelming. What do you think, human? Vexilla asked, a challenging glint in his eye. Surely your species must have some quaint ideas about faster-than-light communication. For a moment, Zara felt a flash of panic. What could she possibly contribute that these advanced beings hadn't already considered? But then she remembered something from her Earth studies, a principle that had driven human innovation for centuries. Actually, Zara began, her confidence growing, I think we might be approaching this from the wrong angle. Instead of trying to make communication faster, what if we found a way to make distance irrelevant? Her teammates fell silent, their attention fully on her for the first time. Explain, Floxy urged, leaves quivering with interest. Zara took a deep breath. On Earth, we have a concept called quantum tunneling. It's the idea that a particle can pass through a barrier that it classically shouldn't be able to. What if we could apply that principle on a macro scale? Create a system where information doesn't have to travel across space at all, but simply appears at its destination instantaneously. There was a moment of stunned silence. Then, to Zara's amazement, her teammates burst into a flurry of excited discussion. Fascinating, Saphira explained, her gaseous form swirling rapidly. We could utilize hyperdimensional folding to create localized tunneling effects. Vexilla's ears perked up. And if we combine that with psionic amplification, we could potentially guide the information to its exact target, regardless of distance. As her teammates built upon her initial idea, Zara felt a surge of pride. She had contributed something genuinely valuable, something that even these advanced beings hadn't considered. It was a uniquely human perspective, taking an established principle and applying it in a wildly innovative way. Over the next few weeks, Zara threw herself into the project with renewed vigor. While she couldn't match her teammates' advanced knowledge in many areas, she found that her human creativity and lateral thinking often provided the spark that led to breakthroughs. There were still moments of frustration and cultural misunderstanding. Zara had to constantly remind Floxy not to release spores that, while harmless to most species, caused her to sneeze uncontrollably, and Zephyr's habit of suddenly dispersing into a cloud when excited led to more than one startled yelp from Zara. But as they worked together, barriers began to break down. Vexler, initially dismissive, started to seek out Zara's opinion on complex problems. Floxy was fascinated by Zara's descriptions of Earth's diverse ecosystems, and Zephyra loved hearing Zara's quaint human idioms, often trying to incorporate them into her own speech with hilarious results. As the deadline for their project approached, Zara found herself working late into the night. She was determined to master the alien technologies they were using, pushing the limits of her human brain to understand concepts that seemed to defy the very laws of physics as she knew them. One evening, as she pored over a particularly complex set of equations, Zara felt a gentle tap on her shoulder. She looked up to see Zelthurix, her roommate, its body pulsing with concerned colors. "Zara, you've been working non-stop for days," Zelthurix said. "Even for a human, this level of exertion cannot be healthy." Zara rubbed her tired eyes. "I know, Xel, but this project, it's not just about getting a good grade. It's about proving that humans belong here, that we can contribute to galactic science." Zelthurix's form shimmered thoughtfully. "Perhaps that is precisely why you are valuable here, Zara. Your drive, your determination to prove yourself, it pushes you to excel in ways that many of us, comfortable in our advanced knowledge, have forgotten." As the Zelthurix's words sank in, Zara realized that her struggle wasn't a weakness, it was her strength. Humanity's place in the galactic community wouldn't be earned through advanced technology or innate abilities, but through their unrelenting spirit and adaptability. With renewed purpose, Zara dove back into her work. As the project neared completion, she knew that regardless of the outcome, she had already achieved something remarkable. She had taken her first steps in bridging the gap between humanity and the wider galaxy, forging connections and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The day of the project presentation loomed, and Zara felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. As she prepared to showcase their work to the entire university, she couldn't help but feel that this was more than just an academic exercise. It was humanity's debut on the galactic stage, and she was determined to make it count. Crisis on campus. The day of the project presentation arrived with an air of excitement and tension. The grand auditorium of Galactic University buzzed with activity as students from across the cosmos gathered to showcase their innovations. Zara stood with her team, their prototype, a sleek, shimmering device that seemed to bend light around it, floating gently before them. As they waited for their turn, Zara couldn't help but marvel at the other projects. One team had created a communication system using tachyons, particles that moved backwards in time. Another had somehow tapped into dark matter to transmit messages instantly across vast distances. "Don't be intimidated," Vexual murmured, noticing Zara's wide-eyed expression. "Our project may not be the most flashy, but it's solid. Your idea gave us a unique approach." Zara nodded, touched by the unexpected support from her once skeptical teammate. As they stepped up to present, she took a deep breath, reminding herself that she represented not just herself, but all of humanity. Their presentation began smoothly. Floxy explained the theoretical basis of their quantum tunneling communication system, while Zephyra demonstrated the prototype's ability to transmit data instantaneously between 2 points in the auditorium. Zara, drawing on her human gift for storytelling, painted a vivid picture of how their invention could revolutionize galactic communication. Just as Vexlor was about to conclude their presentation, a violent tremor shook the auditorium. Alien students of various species cried out in alarm as the lights flickered and died, plunging the room into darkness. "Remain calm," a booming voice echoed through the hall. This is not part of any presentation. Please stay in your seats while we investigate the disturbance. But even as the words faded, Zara felt a chill in the air. The temperature was dropping rapidly, and she could hear the panicked whispers of species sensitive to cold. The environmental systems must be malfunctioning. Floxy rustled nervously, her leaves curling in the sudden chill. Zara's mind raced. A malfunction in a building as advanced as this seemed unlikely. It's not just the temperature, she realized aloud. The gravity feels off, and does anyone else smell ozone? Vexler's fur stood on end. You're right. Something is very wrong with the university's core systems. As if in response to his words, a holographic emergency message flickered to life in the center of the auditorium. The face of the university's chancellor, a being of pure energy contained in a robotic shell, appeared. Attention all students and faculty, the chancellor's voice crackled with static. We are experiencing a critical failure in our central AI core. All life support systems are compromised. We don't know how to stop it. Begin evacuation procedures immediately. Chaos erupted in the auditorium. Students of all species began rushing for the exits, some flying, others slithering or teleporting. Zara and her team huddled together, trying to make sense of the situation. The central AI controls everything, Zafira explained, her gaseous form wavering in distress. Life support, gravity, even the structural integrity of the buildings. If it's truly failing, then the entire university could collapse, Vexler finished grimly. Zara's mind whirled. The scale of the potential disaster was almost beyond comprehension. Thousands of students from across the galaxy, trapped on a failing space station millions of light years from their homes. We have to do something, Zara said, surprising herself with the determination in her voice. Floxy's leaves drooped. But what can we do? The most advanced minds in the galaxy built that AI. If they can't fix it. Zara looked at their project, still hovering nearby, and an idea began to form. Maybe we don't need to fix it. Maybe we need to bypass it entirely. Her teammates looked at her in confusion, but Zara was already moving. She grabbed their prototype and began rapidly reconfiguring it. Our communication system doesn't rely on traditional networks, she explained as she worked. It creates its own quantum channel. If we can boost its power and modify it to interface with the university's systems. Understanding dawned on Vexler's face. We could create a direct link to the core systems, bypassing the malfunctioning AI. As the team sprang into action, the situation around them deteriorated rapidly. The artificial gravity fluctuated wildly, sending students and equipment flying. Atmospheric barriers began to fail, and the distant hiss of escaping air could be heard. Working feverishly, Zara and her team modified their device. Vexler's knowledge of the university's systems proved invaluable, while Floxy's bioengineered components helped stabilize the quantum field. Zafira, able to pass through solid matter, scouted the safest route to the central core. As they made their way through the chaotic hallways, Zara was struck by the sight of advanced alien species panicking, their sophisticated technologies useless in the face of this crisis. It reminded her of disaster stories from Earth's history, of human resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. They reached the central core, a massive chamber pulsing with energy, now sparking and sputtering erratically. Zara's heart raced as she realized the magnitude of what they were attempting. One wrong move could accelerate the meltdown, dooming everyone on the station. "Here goes nothing," Zara muttered, a very human phrase that made Vexler's whiskers twitch despite the gravity of the situation. She activated their device, and for a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a surge of energy that made Zara's hair stand on end, a shimmering field enveloped the malfunctioning core. "It's working," Floxy exclaimed. "The quantum field is stabilizing the core's energy output." Zara's fingers flew over the improvised controls, guided as much by instinct as by her limited understanding of the alien technology. She could feel the resistance of the malfunctioning AI, like a living thing fighting against their intervention. Vexler, I need you to help me navigate the system architecture, Zara called out. Floxy, monitor the energy levels. Zephyra, be ready to disperse and absorb any energy spikes. As they worked in perfect synchronization, Zara felt a surge of pride. This diverse team, brought together by chance, was now the last hope for an entire university of advanced beings. Minutes stretched into hours as they fought to stabilize the core systems. Zara lost track of time, her world narrowing to the pulsing energy before her and the steady presence of her teammates. Finally, with a last surge of power that nearly overwhelmed their makeshift controls, the core stabilized. The oppressive heat and cold that had been battling throughout the station settled into a normal temperature. Gravity reasserted itself, and the ominous creaking of the station's structure fell silent. As emergency systems came back online and the sound of relieved cheers echoed through the halls, Zara sank to the floor, exhausted but elated. Her teammates gathered around her, their faces or equivalent features, showing a mixture of disbelief and awe. We did it, Zephyra whispered, her gaseous form swirling with excited patterns. No, Vexilor said, looking directly at Zara. You did it. Without your human creativity, your ability to think outside our established parameters, we would have been lost. As the reality of their achievements sank in, Zara felt a profound shift in her relationship with her alien classmates. She had proven, beyond any doubt, that humanity had something unique and valuable to offer the galactic community. The following days were a whirlwind of debriefings, congratulations, and media attention from across the galaxy. Zara found herself thrust into the spotlight as the story of the human student who saved Galactic University spread. But more important to Zara than the accolades was the change she saw in the eyes of her fellow students. Where once there had been dismissiveness or curiosity, now there was respect. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, not through advanced technology, but through the very qualities that had driven their species forwards since the dawn of civilization: creativity, adaptability, and an indomitable spirit. As Zara stood with her team, watching the university slowly return to normal, she knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity's journey into the galactic community had taken an unexpected turn, but she was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Galactic diplomacy and human resilience. In the weeks following the crisis at Galactic University, Zara found herself at the center of an interstellar whirlwind. News of her role in saving the university had spread across the galaxy at faster-than-light speeds, captivating the imagination of countless alien species. Humanity, previously seen as a curiosity at best, was suddenly the subject of intense interest and debate. One morning, as Zara prepared for her classes, she received an urgent message from the university chancellor. Your presence is requested in the Grand Council chamber immediately. The holographic notification flickered. Earth diplomats have arrived. Zara's heart raced as she made her way through the twisting corridors of the university. The Grand Council chamber was reserved for the most important galactic affairs. As she approached the massive doors, ornately decorated with symbols from 1,000 worlds, Zara took a deep breath to steady herself. The chamber was a vast amphitheater, its curved walls alive with holographic displays showing distant stars and planets. Gathered in tiered seating were representatives from across the galaxy, some humanoid, others defying easy description. At the center stood a group of humans in crisp diplomatic uniforms, looking both awed and determined. Ah, Miss Hansen, the Chancellor's voice boomed as Zara entered. Please, join us. You are, after all, the reason for this gathering. As Zara took her place beside the Earth delegation, she recognized Ambassador Chen, Earth's newly appointed representative to the Galactic Federation. The ambassador gave her a small nod of encouragement. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, Ambassador Chen began, her voice steady despite the enormity of the moment. We come before you today to formally request Earth's admission into the Galactic Federation. A murmur rippled through the assembled aliens. Zara could sense a mix of curiosity, skepticism, and in some cases, outright opposition. A being of pure energy, its form contained within a crystalline shell, floated forward. "Earth has been aware of the galactic community for less than a year," it intoned. "Your technology is primitive by our standards. What can humanity possibly offer the Federation?" Ambassador Chen smiled diplomatically. "It is true that we are newcomers to the galactic stage, but as recent events have shown, humanity possesses qualities that transcend technological advancement: creativity, adaptability, and an indomitable spirit in the face of adversity." The ambassador gestured to Zara. This young student, with no prior knowledge of advanced alien technology, was able to think creatively and save an entire university from disaster. Imagine what humanity could contribute to the Federation if given the chance to learn and grow alongside you. Zara felt the weight of countless alien gazes upon her. Swallowing her nervousness, she stepped forward. "If I may speak," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber. The Chancellor nodded, and Zara took a deep breath. "Distinguished representatives of the galaxy, I stand before you not as an expert or a diplomat, but as a student. In my short time at Galactic University, I've learned more than I ever thought possible, but I've also come to realize that knowledge flows both ways." She gestured to her alien classmates seated nearby. "Working alongside beings from across the cosmos, I've seen how different perspectives can lead to innovative solutions. Humanity's strength lies not in our current level of technology, but in our ability to adapt, to see problems from new angles, and to never give up in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds." A reptilian alien with iridescent scales leaned forward. "Pretty words, human. But how can we trust a species that still wages war among itself? Your history is filled with conflict and destruction." Zara nodded sullenly. "You're right. Our history is far from perfect, but it's also a testament to our ability to learn and grow. Every conflict has led to progress, to new understandings and alliances. We've united our planet in ways our ancestors could never have imagined, and now we stand ready to unite with the galaxy." As the debate continued, Zara found herself acting as an impromptu ambassador, fielding questions about Earth culture, history, and potential contributions to galactic society. Her experiences at the university had prepared her well, allowing her to bridge the gap between human and alien perspectives. Hours passed, and the discussion showed no signs of reaching a conclusion. Some council members were intrigued by the potential of human ingenuity, while others remained skeptical of admitting such a young species into their ranks. Just as it seemed the debate might stretch on indefinitely, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing a massive spatial anomaly forming near the edge of the system. "It's a Class 9 hyperspatial rift," a technician announced, panic evident in their voice. "Our containment protocols are failing. If it's not stabilized soon, it could tear the entire system apart." The chamber erupted into chaos as council members argued over the best course of action. Some advocated for immediate evacuation, while others insisted on attempting increasingly complex technological solutions. Amidst the pandemonium, Zara's mind raced. The situation reminded her of an old Earth tale, the Gordian knot, a problem solved not through conventional means, but through outside-the-box thinking. "Wait," she called out, her voice cutting through the noise. "What if we're approaching this the wrong way? Instead of trying to contain the rift, what if we could redirect its energy?" The chamber fell silent as Zara quickly outlined her idea. Drawing on her knowledge of Earth's weather systems and the principles of galactic physics she'd learned, she proposed using the university's quantum communication array to create a massive energy diversion field. "It's insane," one council member muttered. "It could make the situation even worse." "Or it could save billions of lives," Ambassador Chen countered. "This is exactly the kind of innovative thinking humanity can bring to the Federation." As the rift grew larger, threatening to engulf nearby planets, the Council made a fateful decision. With no better options, they agreed to attempt Zara's plan. What followed was a frenzy of activity as Zara worked alongside the galaxy's brightest minds to implement her strategy. The next hours were a blow of complex calculations, emergency modifications to the university's systems, and tense moments as they watched the rift's progress. Finally, with a blinding flash of light that temporarily overloaded every sensor in the system, the rift collapsed in on itself. As the dust settled, it became clear that Zara's unconventional solution had worked. The system was saved. In the aftermath of the crisis, the mood in the council chamber had shifted dramatically. Aliens who had been skeptical of humanity's worth now looked at Zara and the Earth delegation with new respect. The crystalline being who had initially questioned Earth's readiness floated forward once more. Perhaps, it said, its tone thoughtful, "We have been too hasty in our judgment of humanity. Your species has much to learn, it is true, but you also have much to teach us." With a gesture that sent ripples of light through its form, the being turned to address the entire council. "I move that we accept Earth's petition for membership in the Galactic Federation, effective immediately." The vote that followed was unanimous. As cheers erupted throughout the chamber, Zara felt a wave of emotion wash over her. In a matter of months, she had gone from a simple exchange student to a key figure in humanity's integration into the galactic community. As Ambassador Chen shook hands with alien dignitaries and plans were made for Earth's formal induction ceremony, Zara found herself surrounded by her classmates from Galactic University. Vexler, Floxy, Zafira, and others gathered around her, their faces or equivalent features, beaming with pride. "You did it, Zara," Vexler purred, his tail swishing excitedly. "You've opened the door for your entire species." Zara smiled, feeling both exhausted and exhilarated. "We did it together," she corrected. "This is just the beginning of what humans and aliens can accomplish when we work as one." As the celebration continued around her, Zara's mind turned to the future. Earth's journey among the stars was just beginning, and she knew there would be countless challenges ahead. But looking at the diverse beings around her, united in a moment of triumph, she felt a surge of hope. Humanity had taken its first true steps into the cosmic community, guided by the very qualities that had defined their species for millennia: curiosity, creativity, and an unwavering spirit of exploration. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would Earth. A new era of interstellar cooperation was dawning, and Zara couldn't wait to see what wonders it would bring. Part 5. A new era of interstellar cooperation. The months following Earth's admission to the Galactic Federation were a whirlwind of activity and change. Zara found herself at the heart of it all, balancing her studies at Galactic University with her newfound role as an unofficial ambassador for humanity. As she walked through the university's grand halls, Zara marveled at how much had changed. Where once she had been a curiosity, now she was sought after by students and faculty alike, eager to learn about Earth and its unique perspective on the cosmos. "Zara," a familiar voice called out. She turned to see Orcs, her gelatinous roommate, undulating towards her. "The Dean of Interspecies Relations wants to see you. Something about a new program." Intrigued, Zara made her way to the Dean's office. The door slid open to reveal not only the Dean, a towering, multi-limbed being with eyes that seemed to peer into multiple dimensions, but also a holographic projection of Ambassador Chen. "Ah, Miss Hansen," the Dean's voice resonated telepathically. "Thank you for joining us. We have an exciting proposition for you." Ambassador Chen's hologram smiled warmly. "Zara, your experiences here have been invaluable in shaping Earth's integration into the galactic community. We want to expand on that success." The Dean gestured with several limbs, and a holographic model of the university appeared. "We're proposing a new exchange program," they explained. "A dedicated Earth Studies department here at Galactic University, and corresponding alien studies departments at universities across Earth." Zara's eyes widened as she grasped the implications. "You want to bring more human students here, and send alien students to Earth?" "Precisely," Ambassador Chen nodded. "And we'd like you to help design the curriculum and act as a mentor for the first wave of students." The responsibility was enormous, but Zara felt a surge of excitement. This was an opportunity to bridge the gap between Earth and the wider galaxy in ways she had never imagined. Over the next few weeks, Zara threw herself into the project. She worked tirelessly with a team of human and alien educators to develop courses that would challenge and inspire students from across the cosmos. One afternoon, as she was finalizing the syllabus for human history and cultural evolution, Vexler sauntered into the room, his feline grace belying the intensity of his gaze. "I've been thinking, Zara," he said, settling into a hover chair nearby. "Your species has a unique way of approaching problems. Have you considered offering a course on human problem-solving methodologies?" Zara looked up, intrigued. "What do you mean?" Vexler's tail switched thoughtfully. "The way you combined seemingly unrelated concepts to save the university and later to resolve the spatial anomaly. It's a skill many of us lack. We're too specialized, too bound by our established ways of thinking." The idea took root, growing into a cornerstone of the new curriculum. Applied human ingenuity became one of the most popular courses, with alien students eager to learn Earth's unconventional approaches to everything from scientific research to artistic expression. As the program took shape, Zara found herself mentoring the first group of human exchange students. Wide-eyed and full of wonder, they reminded her of herself when she first arrived. But now, thanks to her efforts, they had a support system in place to help them navigate the complexities of galactic academia. One day, as Zara was guiding a group of new students through the quantum physics lab, an alert flashed across the campus-wide communications system. A diplomatic crisis was unfolding in a nearby star system, threatening to destabilize a delicate peace treaty. To Zara's surprise, the Galactic Council requested her presence at the emergency session. As she entered the council chamber, she saw representatives from dozens of worlds engaged in heated debate. The Zorlax Confederation is demanding concessions that would upset the balance of power in the entire sector, a holographic representative flickered angrily. And the Lumina Alliance refuses to budge on resource allocation, another countered. "We're at an impasse." As the arguments escalated, Zara found herself thinking of Earth's long history of conflict resolution. She raised her hand, and to her amazement, the chamber fell silent, all eyes turning to her. "On Earth," she began, her voice steady despite her nerves, "we have a tradition called multi-track diplomacy. It involves engaging not just governments, but also businesses, academic institutions, and cultural exchanges to build relationships and find common ground." The idea was radical by galactic standards, where diplomacy had long been the exclusive domain of official representatives. But as Zara outlined her proposal, she could see interest kindling in the eyes, or sensory organs, of the assembled delegates. Over the next few days, Zara worked tirelessly with diplomats from across the galaxy to implement her plan. She organized cultural exchanges between the Zorlax and Lumina youth, set up joint scientific research projects, and even arranged a culinary festival showcasing the cuisines of both civilizations. To everyone's amazement, the approach worked. As understanding and empathy grew between the two societies, the diplomatic deadlock began to crumble. Within weeks, a new treaty was signed, one that addressed the concerns of both sides while fostering ongoing cooperation. The success of the Earth approach, as it came to be known, sent ripples through galactic society. Suddenly, humanity's unique perspective was in high demand across the cosmos. Universities clamored to expand their Earth studies programs, and diplomatic corps across the galaxy began recruiting human advisors. Back at Galactic University, Zara stood before a packed auditorium. Students and faculty from hundreds of worlds had gathered to hear her speak about the future of human-alien cooperation. "We stand at the dawn of a new era," she began, her voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber. "An era where the strengths of all our species combine to create something greater than the sum of its parts." She gestured to the diverse crowd before her. "Look around you. In this room, we have beings who can manipulate gravity, who can see through time, who can compute complex equations in nanoseconds. And yet, it was a species barely out of its planetary cradle that showed us a new way to solve our most intractable problems. Zara paused, letting her words sink in. This is the true power of galactic cooperation. Not just sharing technology or resources, but sharing ways of thinking, of approaching the universe. Every species, no matter how seemingly primitive or advanced, has something unique to offer. As she concluded her speech to thunderous applause, Zara felt a profound sense of pride and purpose. She had come to Galactic University as a student, eager to learn about the cosmos. Now, she found herself a teacher, not just of human knowledge, but of human spirit. The journey ahead would not be easy. There would be misunderstandings, conflicts, and challenges yet unimagined. But as Zara looked out at the sea of alien faces, all united in their quest for knowledge and understanding, she knew that the future was bright. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not through technological superiority or military might, but through the very qualities that had defined them throughout their history: curiosity, creativity, and an indomitable spirit of exploration and cooperation. As the applause faded and the crowd began to disperse, Zara's alien friends gathered around her. Vexler, Foxy, Zafira, and Thyrix, once strangers from across the cosmos, now as close as family. "So, Professor Hansen," Vexler purred teasingly, "what's our next adventure?" Zara grinned, her eyes twinkling with excitement. "Who knows? But whatever it is, we'll face it together. After all, that's what being part of the galactic community is all about." As they left the auditorium, stepping out into the starlit expanse of the university grounds, Zara felt a sense of infinite possibility. The story of humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning, and she couldn't wait to see where it would lead.